Tonight, new figures on vaccine safety in Singapore reveal 20 cases of anaphylaxis, a severe allergic reaction. 3 local names make their debut on Asia's 50 best bars, including the highest new entry on the list ever. And if you must do something new this weekend, how about turning up at the National Gallery for its new exhibition? This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Chow Suan. Since Singapore's COVID-19 vaccination exercise began in late December, 20 cases of a severe and potentially life-threatening allergic reaction, known as anaphylaxis, have been reported, according to the Health Sciences Authority in its first safety update of the Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna vaccines used here. All 20 people who developed anaphylaxis have recovered after medical treatment. The incidence rate of this reaction here is about 1.4 per 100,000 doses administered, which is similar to the incidence rates reported overseas. The 20 cases are among the 95 cases of serious adverse events associated with vaccines, such as severe rashes, possible shortness of breath, and rapid heartbeat. These serious effects are rare, with the cases comprising just 0.004% of the more than 2.2 million doses given from December 30th to April 18th. No one here has died from taking the COVID-19 vaccine, and there have also been no reports of unusual blood clots associated with low platelets that have been reported with other types of COVID-19 vaccines overseas. The HSA will continue to monitor the safety of the vaccines and will be releasing vaccine safety updates on a monthly basis from now on. So far, most vaccines have only been available to those aged above 16, leaving younger children without protection. But that is changing. Canada has authorized the use of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine for children between the ages of 12 and 15. It is one of the first countries to do so for that age group. The country's health ministry made the decision based on data from phase 3 clinical trials on children that age. Now on to local numbers. For a second straight day, no new COVID-19 cases were found to be linked to the Tan Tock Seng Hospital cluster. Out of the 18 new infections confirmed today, 2 were in the community. The other 16 were imported and placed on stay-home notice when they arrived. In other news, some 40 roads within the central area, Bukit Timah, Bukit Merah and Kallang, will be assessed to determine if parts of them can be reclaimed to make space for cycling paths. The Land Transport Authority will also study the possible removal of roadside parking lots in 27 locations within these areas. These are among the issues to be looked at as LTA works on extending Singapore's cycling network to about 1,300 kilometres by 2030. The latest move is on top of plans announced in March to look into some 60 sites where roads could be converted into footpaths, cycling paths or bus lanes. Ahead of Hari Raya Puasa next week, over 7,760 families here will receive financial assistance through the annual Ramadan disbursement, or zakat. The $2.4 million zakat collection comprises both cash assistance and raya hampers. The Islamic Religious Council of Singapore said the payments will be between $150 to $1,000 depending on the size of the family. And the resale market showed no signs of slowing down as a total of $21 million HDB flats were sold in April. This was just shy of the monthly record of 23 in February. Overall prices rose for the 10th straight month, and with projected delays in the completion of new BTO flats, experts said demand for resale flats will continue to rise. And in other news, the Ministry of Communications and Information said that it supports the proposal by Singapore Press Holdings to restructure itself and transfer its media business, SPH Media, to a company limited by guarantee, pending shareholder approval. It said that the government is prepared to provide funding support to the CLG to help accelerate its digital transformation and build capabilities for the future. Minister S. Iswaran will deliver a ministerial statement on the subject next Monday when Parliament next sits. Now let's take a look at what's been making waves online today. Flying the Singapore flag high. Despite a tough year for the food and beverage as well as nightlife and entertainment industry in Singapore, local bars had a strong showing on the annual Asia's 50 Best Bars list, with 5 bars making the top 10 list and a total of 12 Singapore bars featured in the top 50. One more than last year, Singapore's drink scene is truly making a stir. In fact, 3 of those 12 are bars making the list for the first time, including a couple of my personal favorites. The 3 new entrants are No Sleep Club on Keong Siak Road at number 8, Barbary Coast on North Canal Road at number 29, and Sago House on Sago Street at number 49. All 3 opened in trying times, with the first 2 opening just before the pandemic hit, and Sago House right in the thick of the circuit breaker. Even more impressively, No Sleep Club, which debuted at 8 on the list, is the highest ever new entrant to the list. Now for the Singapore bars in the top 10, last year's number 1 Jigger and Pony fell to number 2, Manhattan placed 6, Atlas at 7, and No Sleep Club at 8. And for a small country like Singapore, this success is commendable. Journalist Anjali Raghuraman tells us more.
Such an exciting time to be a part of this scene, and I'm so glad that Singapore's bar scene has, once again shown up. The drink scene keeps going from strength to strength, and this is just more validation that Singapore has a wonderful cocktail scene that is established. And yeah, sure, 12 bars, but I think what's also interesting is that among the 12 bars, there are 3 independent bars. So these are independent bars that also opened under very unique circumstances. Very commendable, actually. I mean, China took the top spot this year with 13 entries on the list, and but Singapore has performed consistently. We've had hovered between 11 to 13 over the years, the last 6 years. And yeah, sure, China is nipping at our heels, but look at the size of China and then look at the size of Singapore. I think we have to consider that as well. We've done a really good job. There's so much diversity in our scene here, and we're spoiled for choice. Singapore is such a special destination for cocktails.
And yet another leap for space travel. SpaceX has launched and landed its futuristic Starship in one piece, finally nailing a test flight of the rocket ship that Elon Musk intends to use to land astronauts on the moon and send people to Mars. All of Starship's previous 4 test flights have ended in fiery explosions before, during, or soon after touchdown. This latest upgraded version of SpaceX's full-scale, stainless steel, bullet-shaped rocket ship soared more than 10 kilometers over the Gulf of Mexico before flipping and descending horizontally, and then going vertical again just in time for touchdown. Congratulations, SpaceX, and how cool would it be if we could take holidays to Mars one day? And the Champions League final will be an all-English affair, with Manchester City and Chelsea meeting in Istanbul on Saturday, May 29th. But ahead of that, they will meet this weekend in the Premier League, with City needing just a point to wrap up the title, their 3rd in 4 years. For City, the Champions League is the one major title missing from their trophy cabinet, but they're in good hands with manager Pep Guardiola, who could lift the trophy for the first time since he won it with Barcelona in 2011. For Chelsea, it's a chance to win their 2nd Champions League title after their first triumph in 2012. The team have been on a roll since changing managers this year and could lift the FA Cup next week if they get past Leicester City. And Chelsea have even more reason to celebrate. They are the first team ever to have a men's and women's team make the Champions League final in the same season. The women will face Barcelona in Gothenburg next Sunday. And if you're looking for something interesting to do this weekend, might I suggest a visit to the National Gallery. 6 veteran Singapore artists take the spotlight in the exhibition, Something New Must Turn Up, 6 Singaporean artists after 1965. The relatively underrated artists, including printmaker Cheng Siok Tin, abstract artist Jafar Latif, and collage artist Goh Beng Kwan, will be showing more than 300 works from tomorrow till August 22nd. Definitely something to check out. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com for more news and videos. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening. Goodbye.